Okay? And then, here he is, he says, and he cried out with a loud voice, what have I to do with you? This is then the demon speaking, or the demons speaking. What have I to do with you, Jesus, the Son of the Most High God? I implore you, by God, not to torment me. Not to torment me. I love this part. For he said to him, come out of the man, unclean spirit. And then he asked, what is your name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are many. If you look up Legion, that's 3,000 to 6,000. So there was up to 6,000 demons living inside of this one man. Now I heard this preached. Can we just take a minute and realize how strong this man was to deal with what he was dealing with? Okay? This was a large number. And I love it because it had no, even 6,000 of them didn't have any match for Jesus.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Jesus said, get out, and they did. They listened to him. They begged, Jesus, look, don't hurt us. And then it keeps going. It says, now, or also he begged him earnestly, in verse 10, that he would not send them out of the country. Now a large herd of swine was feeding near the mountains. So all the demons begged him, send us into the swine that we may enter them. And at once Jesus gave them permission. Then the unclean spirits went out and entered the swine. And there were about 2,000 swine. And the herd ran violently down the steep place into the sea and drowned in the sea. So those who fed the swine, they went and told in the city and the country what had happened. And they came out to see what had happened, what was going on. Now I want you to understand that, well, I'll get there in a second. I'm trying to stay online here. Verse 15. Then they came to Jesus and saw the one who had been demon-possessed and had the legion, sitting and clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. Wow. They were afraid. Yeah. Like they've never seen this man like this. Okay? Imagine if you see some crazy or some person that is so lost and they're an atheist or they're agnostic or whatever they may be. Okay? And then Jesus gets a hold of their life. They are changed forever. Or they're just an unbeliever. And when Jesus gets a hold of them, the cross demands a change in that person's life. And they're totally different. They're not the same. And that's what happened to this man. He had been possessed by demons, up to 6,000 of them. And yet, he was changed in an instant when Jesus got on the scene.
Amen.
When are we going to let Jesus come into the scene of our lives? Of our hectic lives, of our unbelief, of our unfaithfulness. When are we going to allow Him to just take control? I don't know. I don't know when we're going to do that today. Check this out in verse 16. It says, and those who saw it told them what had happened to the demon-possessed person and about the swine. And check this out, verse 17. It says, then they began to plead with him to depart from their region. Guys, isn't it funny how we want to be helped? We want to be healed. We want Jesus to do something with us. And then when He takes something, when He's asking for something valuable, when He wants to take something away from you to make you better, and you can't see it, oh, no, we don't want to do that no more. We don't want to do that anymore. Because you're asking too much. Look, I want to keep this. I want to keep making that much money. I want to keep that job. I want to keep these friends. I want to keep this ego and this pride. I want to keep it because I love it. Fleshly, I love it. And Jesus is saying, no, part of you, not that part.
Right.
So we reject being healed and being used by God because of what it's going to cost us.
That's right. Amen.
We do.
Jesus healed the man, and it cost that region about $70,000. If you look at it, and look, this ain't what a pig's going for today, but if pigs were going for $35 a pig, okay, that's about $70,000. And I want to ask you this today. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Huh? It was to the man. See, if you have to stop and think about that question, we need to reevaluate something. We need to reevaluate whether you have a relationship with the church or whether you have a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah. Amen.
If you have to sit and think about that in any little way, we have an issue, church.
That's right.
Because you have a relationship with the church and on Sunday mornings coming here, and you don't have a relationship with Jesus here or when you leave. If you have to think about the cost. I've been in a place the last 5 years I don't want to be. 5 years. I don't want to be. But God says, I'm not done. And the cost is great. But I'm going to sacrifice and give it for God.
Amen.
Who else is going to give it to God and give that sacrifice? Even if it costs you $70,000, are you going to sacrifice that to Him to change the world around you? Are you going to do that for the kingdom? Or are you just going to say, no, God, I'm too selfish for that. I want to chill out. I just want to stay right here. I want to keep my job. I want to keep my money. I want to keep my friends. I want to keep my ego. And I just want to, I'm going to chill back here.
Somebody else.
Yeah, I'm going to let somebody else do that. And don't get me wrong, He's going to find somebody else to get it done.
Right.
If you're not going to man up or woman up and do it. Here's my next question. If we have to ask the question, do you have a relationship with the church or with Jesus, we also have to ask this. And you're not going to like this. Are you a Pharisee or are you a disciple? Because the Pharisees had a relationship with the church and the law.
That's right.
And the disciples had a relationship with Jesus. You know, I've said this many, many times. Jesus didn't call you to be a Christian. He called you to be a disciple.
Right.
Okay? So we have to realize, what are we? Are we just here to check off the list? I came to church today. God will be happy. Or my girlfriend, or my wife, or my kids, or whoever. Or just inside of you, I feel better when I come to church. We have to decide, are we here to check off the list? Or are we here to grow in Jesus?
Amen.
What are we here for? Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I see a lot of people putting a lot of weight on the leaders' shoulders here at this church to be perfect, or they're not going to be here. Because they have a relationship with the church, they don't have a relationship with Jesus. Guys, let's go to 1 Corinthians as we kind of make a transition here. 1 Corinthians 3. First Corinthians 3, 5. So here it says, who then is Paul? Who is Apollos? But ministers ministers through whom you believe, as the Lord gave to each one. He says, I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. But God gave the increase. And then it says in verse 7, so neither he who plants is anything, nor he who waters, but God who gives the increase. It's not the church, it's God. It's not this physical building. It's not your leaders. It's your relationship you have with God, and God's going to give that increase through you, the church. But so many times we don't understand that. So why do we keep depending on the church to dictate how strong or weak our Christianity is?
That's right. Praise you, brother.
You know, I don't get it. If you want to see a ministry spring forth out of this church and God has given you the vision, let's go. Now, is everybody going to have the same heart that you do, the same vision that you do? No, probably not. But there are going to be a group of people that will go forward with that ministry with you. I fully believe that. We're about kingdom here. And if there's not something here that you want to get plugged into and you feel like God is leading you to do something else, let us know. Let's do it.
Right.
We're game for that. As long as it's scriptural and biblical. But we check our discipleship or our Christianity temperature on what the church is doing.
That's right. That's what we do.
And what the leaders of this church are doing. And if that's the case, let's look at it like it is. You have a relationship with the church and not with Jesus.
That's right.
You're a Pharisee and you're not a disciple. We want to keep all the laws and we want to hold other people to the laws, but we don't want to keep the laws. That's a Pharisee. Speaking of that, let's go to Romans 2:17 through 24. Guys, and I know that I've said this, and I've said this, and I've said this, and you've heard it, and you've heard it, and you've heard it, but I got to say it again. Your relationship, man, is between you and God.
Amen.
It's between you and God. It's not between you, me, and God, or between you, Scotty, and God, or between you, your husband, and God, or you, your wife. God, you all know what I'm saying, right? And can I speak some truth into your marriage today? Is that okay? Married people, can I speak some truth into your marriage? Sure.
Yeah.
There we go. I got a few, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Both counts, right?
Think my wife say amen.
I don't know. Don't let your kids get in the middle of you and your wife's relationship in marriage.
Amen.
That's right. You're exactly right.
That's not their place. You know, this is the funny, and I'm just going to tell it. The other day, Tara likes tacos for life. So we're going to tacos for life. Hey, if I buy one, I feed another. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? In the last 2 weeks, I'm up to like 30 meals for other kids. Because she loves it. Well, Gunner, you know how Gunner is. I'm having to wear that little tail end out because he wants to talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, poor thing. We drive right in between Slim Chickens and Tacos for Life. And Tara says, I want Tacos for Life. I said, okay. Well, I want Slim Chickens. I said, you don't get to pick. Yeah. So we got in the parking lot and I laid into it. Okay? I said, uno, which means one, first. first, whatever. I said, you are our kid.
That's right.
You don't have an opinion. What we're going to do? I said, Dose, I'm paying for it. You know what I'm saying? When you make some money and you want to pay for mommy and daddy, their dinner, then we can go where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't going to happen. No. You know what I'm saying? And then the other day, I'll tell you what, I'm telling on my kid. But the other day, I'm son, your dog has been without food for about 2 days. Don't worry. My dog makes sure on the whole entire neighborhood. People let him in their house. Probably eats steak dinner every night. I have no idea. I don't know. But he probably does because every time I put food out, the squirrels eat. Okay, so we're not starving our dog. Okay. The 50-pound bag has lasted a month, and we only have food. But I said, son, go feed your dog. He was walking to the back door. He was not very happy. He said, what don't you do? He got lathered up pretty good. And I let him know that we're not going to talk to mommy or daddy like that. And he got the point. You feel me? So my point is, guys, what if we were going to eat and Mama wanted to go to Tacos for Life, but Gunnar wanted to go to Slim Chickens, and I said we're going to Slim Chickens? What would have happened in that instance?
Another kid would starve to death.
Another kid would starve. But also that is funny. But on a serious note, though, he would have got in between mine and Tara's marital relationship. And so many times, guys, I see, you know, I'm a family pastor. I don't know if I do it any good or not, but I see so many families. And this is not just here, this is in my church, this is everywhere. I see so many families where it's like the mother is married to the kids and not the husband, or the father is married to the kids and not the wife. And their relationship is toxic because of that. They don't get along because of that. Because the kid runs the household because the parent is going to agree with them instead of their wife. And we could go into that, and we could look at that, and that's a whole other message for a whole other day. I just wanted to speak some truth into your life today. That just like your relationship with God is between you and Him and no one else, your relationship with God is not even between you, the church, and Him, guys. It's not. It's between you and Him.
That's right.
Amen.
That's exactly.
And I'm going to tell you real quick, guys, if I had a relationship with the church, when I'm going through the valley I'm going through, I would not be here today.
That's right. That's exactly right. And that's the reason some of them ain't.
I wouldn't be here. Why? Church will let you down.
Amen.
Jesus won't.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you, I don't care what you're going through. Guys, I got some news the other day, and I had about a 30-minute temper tantrum. Can I be real today? Y'all act like y'all never got mad. Y'all act like I'm perfect sitting here on my feet. You know, I'm happy all the time. Me and my wife never fight. And, you know, I always get exactly what I want, and I'm just happy all the time. I'm just down. Whatever. Y'all lying in the house today. Because I know how you are. Because I'm the same way. Alright? But I threw a temper tantrum. I ain't cried that hard since I was like probably like 5. I'm being dead serious, guys. Dude, I punched Tara's dresser, almost knocked the lip off on my head. Can we be real today? Grabbed the pillow off the bed, brought my old arm back out, threw it across the room. That's not going to do this. They might not, I don't know. No, I didn't that day. But I will say this. When I threw it across the room, at least it went in the closet. So it's only closing. So nothing bad. Yeah, that's good. That's what I was aiming for. So, you know, I did that. And I didn't want to, man, anybody ever not, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to hear from you. I am mad at you. You know, I had and through the advice of some of my mentors, man, I had a David moment with God. And I let him know exactly how I felt. I got in my closet and I let him know exactly how I felt. And I laid down some ground, I laid down some standards. You know what I'm saying? Anybody ever done that? God, and he's like, yeah, right, whatever. So anyway, but I had a lot of people, and I want to thank you people that could see that I was going through a very difficult time. And I'm not over it yet, but I'm learning how to be happy. And I'm learning how to trust God in this process that I'm in. But I want to thank you for reaching out to me and texting me and sending me Bible verses and lifting me up, because I greatly appreciate it. I really do. But enough about me. But if I didn't have a relationship with Jesus, I couldn't make it through the hard times.
That's right.
And that's why some of you, man, the hard times are so low. The hard times are so low when you fall out of church because you don't want to hear from it, because you got a relationship with the church and not Jesus. Because I want to tell you, Jesus never stopped talking to me. Even when I stopped talking to him, he never stopped talking to me.
Amen. That's right.
Never.
That's right.
Softening my heart every day the last 3 weeks. I ain't kidding. Y'all think I'm crazy, but I'm really, well, I'm be crazy. But guys, Romans 2:17 says, indeed, you are called a Jew and the rest of the law, and you make and make your boast in God, and know His will, and approve the things that are excellent, being instructed out of the law, and are confident that you yourself are a guide to the blind and a light to those who are in the darkness, an instructor of the foolish and a teacher of babes, having the form of knowledge and truth in the law. Then it gets real. You, therefore, who teach another, do you not teach yourself? Are you not getting in the Word? Are you not Are you not learning for yourself? You who preach that a man should not steal, do you steal yourself? You who say do not commit adultery, do you commit adultery? You who, this is a bad word for me, abhor, is that right? Idols? Scotty's asleep over there. Do you rob temples? You who make your boast in the law, do you dishonor God through breaking the law? For the name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles because of you. It is true. Because of you. Another verse that I saw, I can't remember where it's at, I'm bad at that, but it says, they bless me with their mouth, but their heart is far from me. Or they bless me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Guys, I have to ask today, I've got to ask, like, where are you at? Holding people to standards that you can't even hold. Holding people to a certain point, and when they don't reach that point, your Christianity is shattered. Because, let me be real honest. It doesn't matter what Scotty does. It doesn't matter what Caleb does. It doesn't matter what Shelly does. Hayden, Cricket, my mother-in-law Vicky. It doesn't matter what Drake does. It doesn't matter what any of you do. That's not going to change my relationship with God.
Amen. There you go. There you go.
It's not.
Should.
It's not going to change my relationship with God.
That's right.
But so many times, we who are followers of the church sit down and we want to look at everybody.
Right. Amen.
And we want to say, man, Scotty said something that I don't like.
Just a second.
Well, many things that I don't like. And what happens to us? What happens to that person? They gone. They disappear.
They got them out off before they leave.
They might, but the thing is that when they leave, they no longer even have a relationship with God.
That's right. You're right.
Because of where they stand. It's not that when you leave this church, that if you leave it, that you don't have a relationship. No. What I'm saying is, where their heart is at, when they leave this church, they can say they're praying, but I highly doubt if they are. Because they are followers of the church and not followers of Jesus.
Right. Amen.
Right.
God's leading you, you're going to stay there, man.
Sure.
That's right. That's right.
When other people sin, well, oh man, I'm going to, y'all might want to write this one down. When another person's sin bothers you more than your own sin, that's when you have made the transition from a disciple to a Pharisee.
Amen.
Did you go in and out?
And I want you to think about that. I've been there.
I have to. I have to.
Yeah, I've been there. Man, I can't believe they're doing that. I can't believe he did that to me. I can't believe that she did that to my wife. And that sticks with me and bothers me for months. Y'all acting like you're not going to. Anybody else in the house like that? Please make me feel like I'm wanted. Come on. Guys, when other people's sin bothers you more than your own, you're walking a very, very dangerous line.
Amen.
And that line is that you're not following Jesus. You're following your flesh.
Right.
You're doing what your flesh wants to do. You're creating an excuse to walk away from God.
Amen.
When you let other people's sin bother you more than your own.
That's right.
Because that person is obviously in between you and God in that relationship with you and God.
Amen. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. But so many times, guys, we let other people, their sin. Now, I want to say this. Your sin does not just affect you.
That's right.
That's
Okay, now
right.
I'm going to say that. Your sin does not just affect you, it affects everyone around you. But listen, those people should not let that sin get in between them and their relationship with God.
Amen.
Amen. Don't let anyone determine your relationship with Jesus. Don't let anyone determine your relationship with Jesus. Guys, I'm going to ask the band or whatever to come up. know that I'm done. But guys, I just, you know, God's, and Luke and Scotty's been on this. This has been on my heart for a while, this message. And I didn't know how to put it all together. I didn't know what God was going to do with it. I didn't know where He was going to take it. Luke, come on up. And Scotty, come on up to pray with people. But guys, Brig, you can come up too. Guys, at the end of the day, today, you have to examine your hearts. Or you can stay seated. I know you're hurt. You can, I need you to, you can turn it off. I need you to examine your hearts. I need you to be real. God needs you to be real with Him today. Because in order to take the next step you need to take with God, you have to know what relationship you're in. If you feel like God is leading you to start something, start it. Let us get behind you and let's roll. Guys, in order for you to move forward, you have to make the transition from that relationship with church to that relationship with Jesus.
Amen.
You have to seek Him and you have to know Him and you have to find Him. It says, when you seek Me, you will find Me. Sometimes even when you're not seeking, He's still softening that heart. He's still talking to you. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, that He is always pursuing you. He is always in pursuit of you. God, I come to you today and I just thank You so much. God, for this body of people that You have assembled. God, I pray that today that Your word just pierce the heart of Your people. Father, and they were able to be real with themselves. God, that they make the transition from a relationship with church to a relationship with Jesus, Father, so that they aren't hindered any longer. God, we know that a relationship with the church is a lie from the devil. Trying to keep us in that lie so that we can be hindered and we can be hurt. We can struggle. Because when we're in a relationship with You, Father, that stuff might hurt a little bit, but that stuff does not change our relationship with You. It never will, and it never does. God, I pray for an outpouring of Your Holy Spirit today, Father. God, that Your people receive Your word. In Your holy name I pray. Help us, God.
What All right, y'all can be seated.
Amen, dude. I guess we're going to go ahead and pass the offering because y'all always beat me to it because y'all know I'll forget. So go ahead and, if you want to, pass the offering. Visitors, please put your visitors cards in the offering bucket when it's passed. Since I talked about getting plugged in a little bit, there are service cards at the Welcome Center which help us determine or help you determine what you want to get plugged in with. And even if there's nothing on there that you want to get plugged in with, you can write on there what you'd like to try to do, and we can get that going. This Wednesday night is the last night of small groups at mine and Tara's house and Britt and Jay's house. And it's going to start at 6:30. Then we will take the month of August off because I know a lot of y'all get back in the school thing and this, that, and the other. So we'll take Wednesday night services off for August, and then we will announce what we're going to do starting in September to make that transition. The Ralph Bunch Picnic is this Saturday. This Saturday, August 3rd, we will have a booth. We're going to be giving away some WWJD bracelets, some face tattoos, and some other kind of bracelets. I don't even know. Tara ordered them. I don't know. But we do need volunteers for this booth. If we can, there's a sign-up sheet on the Welcome Center. Please sign up so that we can get you into shifts.
Is this an all-day thing, or?
Just the morning. Just the morning. So I can get you into shifts, different shifts to do that. But please sign up if you want to be available.
What time we eat?
What?
What time we eat?
That's the main question.
Sign me up on that shit.
Yeah, I did. There's going to be a grilling show at our house, the Hunter's house, on August 4th, which is next Sunday night, from 4 to 7. There's a sign-up sheet at the Welcome Center for those of you who are interested in bringing anything. Just going to tell you, probably the best burger you've ever ate. Just going to hold it out there. What? What? No, not better. Honestly, that's recent. I'm just kidding. But guys, come and hang out. We're going to have a tournament, a Bago tournament, and just going to have a great time. You can bring your kayaks. We live on a lake. Not really. But kind of a lake. I mean, it has a stream that goes in it, and it has a spillway. It's got to get pretty high for the spillway to run, but it counts. So y'all bring your kayaks if you want to fish or do anything like that, or just hang out. We do need baby nursery workers. There's a sign-up sheet at the Welcome Center. Tara's got me lined up today. The co-ed softball sign-up, we need you to please pick a number. Okay? We're still taking people to sign up, but please go over there if you've already signed up and get a number. We're going to go ahead and say that boys and girls can have the same number, just can't have duplicates. They're going to be it's $20 to play. It's due by September 8th. So the church is paying the entry fee and all that. Basically, you're helping pay for your jersey. Okay, so $20, and you get to play. I think, you know how many games it is? 12? 12 games. So that's like not even $2 a game. So pretty good deal, right? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. I had to make sure I stop laughing at me. Oh. She gets on my nerves. I'm just kidding. She's like my sister. I don't know why you act like that. Anyway. Youth night is tonight, 5th grade through 12th grade, 6:30 to 8 here. Y'all show up, show out. It's going to be fun.
Hey, Jordan.
Yes.
Sorry. Jamie told me a while ago she'd like to meet at Tyndall Park.
Oh, okay.
We're going to do a kickball tonight.
Kickball, Tyndall Park.
6:30 for the
6:30.
youth. For the youth.
For the youth. Okay. Yeah, we can have a
Yeah.
session. Also, ladies, I need your ears and your eyes. Y'all have had some